Two players battling it out in this finals and spawning up in the top left-hand position. Something's going wrong with my left and right today. But anyway, spawning in the top left-hand position, representing alternate, we have got the red Zerg player, Lambo. And his opponent, to the lower right, the blue Protoss, representing alien invasion, Patience. Patience is currently 1-0 up in this best of 3 finals. If he is able to take this game, he wins tonight. He gets the majority of the points, which in this ESL Pro Series ladder system is very, very important for him. So, can he do it? What's he going to go with? Pylon up in the main base. This could mean 3 things. It could mean a Forge first, Nexus first, or a Gateway first. Gateway is probably the most likely, although last game we did see Patience confident to go with a Forge fast expansion, potentially looking for a little bit of cannon fun. Meanwhile, Lambo looks to be... I suspect he will go for a spawning pool first. And as I say that, he brings a drone down at 200, so no. Not going to be doing that. Going to be going hatch first. This is a bold move. It's going to be up against a Nexus first, though, by Patience, who brings the probe down now. Very economic focus game from these two in map number 2. Especially considering this is a 2 spawn position map and not the easiest one to hold various positions on. So, very exciting stuff at the moment. It is quite passive as an opening, but it can lead to some very, very tense things. Drone now on an attack command queue in case a probe comes through. This could be hatch pull. It is going to be hatch pull. A very strong opening up against a gateway expand. This is probably the best opening against a gateway expand. But up against the Nexus first, it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out. Patience, he has the option of going for some very strong, very quick timings off of 2 bases due to this good economy by going Nexus first. So that into itself can lead to some excitement. But Patience, he has shown a preference this evening to go for slightly longer games on the whole. So again, going for those slightly longer games means that he may not try and end this quick. He might try and take a quick 3rd base of his own. He may try and just see what kind of other damage he could try and sneak on by with. Otherwise though, just keeping a quick little look. And in we go now. Patience just scouting. This is his first scout if I am not mistaken. So he just comes up. If we look at his vision, I don't think he's seen the 3rd. No, he hasn't. So in he goes. Just takes a nice little look there. Sees the natural. Comes down. Is about to see the 3rd. Knows that it's a hatch pool opening because of the timing of this spawning pool. It's very, very late. So shouldn't come as a surprise to him that that's there. Otherwise, Patience, he's got his Cybercore now finished up. He's got a decent amount of gas. So we should be seeing some form of tech out of him relatively soon. And it's going to be the Stargate once more. This is quite an interesting choice because the Stargate wasn't hugely successful last game. Did a nice bit of damage. It picked off a queen, of course. And just as we saw in that last game, the Zealot is going to come for a little wander on out. Going to be trying to deal some damage. Loosen up a queen, maybe, at the 3rd base. May try and get a bit done there. I don't know if that... Can that Stargate be seen? No. Literally just on the edge. If this Overlord moves just a sneaky little bit right, it will see it. It will know that the Stargate is down and therefore will be able to deal with it and react appropriately. Oracle and Phoenix are still viable though, so it is going to be the Oracle this game. Still no sign of this. Oh wait, has it been seen? Oh my goodness, it has. Okay, Oracle's seen. Immediately, those Spore Crawlers come down. Money Scout coming down from this one lone Zergling. Great work by Lambo. He's got the knowledge, got the information, and now going to be able to deal with it how he sees fit, which is add in spores and then hold the D key, because droning should keep me safe. The Mothership Core and Zealot going to be trying to harass it a little bit. Note the Zealot has lost quite a bit of shield energy though. Going to make it a bit more tough. The Spore Crawler, of course, going to be able to zone away the Mothership Core. 1 drone dies. 2 drones die. Did 2 drones die? Yeah, they did. 2 drones dead. Not too bad. Oracle heading up in towards the main base. Remember, there is that Spore Crawler though, so... the Oracle can try and duke it out with the Queen, which was away from the Spore. loosens it up slightly, but not going to be able to engage. At the third base, the queen, of course, pulled over to that spore preactively, just to make sure that it can't do any damage there. Still, the Ling survives in the main base, and interestingly, we've got a Void Ray coming out now. That's going to help force away this Overlord. Probably will pick it off. Can go Overlord hunting, which is always a fun little game to play. The queen getting fought head on, and that queen could actually die now. The Spore Cooler will act as more of a deterrent, but that queen very, very low. It's going to be a dance of death between the Oracle and that queen. But the Oracle plays chicken and loses that game, runs on out. Besides, not worth it yet, not at least until I have some more shield energy. So, Void Ray, nearly complete, not being chrono boosted or anything. And that's because there's no rush for it. It's just getting out in order to take down those Overlords. No sign of a third base yet from Patience either, as he adds in the Robotics Bay. Going to be turning up into Colossus Tech exceptionally quickly here. Meanwhile, if we take a look at what's coming down from Lambo, he is still just sitting around saying, yeah, I'm droning. I'm droning, I'm droning, I'm droning, I'm taking a fourth, I'm droning, I'm droning, I'm droning. I'm taking a layer, I'm droning, I'm droning, I'm droning. That's basically Lambo's thought process right now, is how much can I drone and how much can I get away with? Needs to be a bit careful. I'm surprised at this fourth, and the reason I'm surprised at that is he's seen no attempt until now to take a third base. So he will be ahead, but the potential still remains for it to be a very aggressive play. And if we look at his vision, okay, he saw the Void Ray. That is actually quite a big giveaway. They won't be. What's interesting yet again is that Lambo's going for the Spire. This is completely different to how he decided to play up against Hasselhoff's. Hasselhoff's, he went for the Vipers very, very fast, and I gave a lot of credit to Lambo in that game, that his control of those Vipers was just fantastic. It was really solid, both the abducts and also just some great control with blinding clouds, avoiding those feedbacks, etc. So I think with all of that, it's an interesting decision to go for these Corruptors. Void Ray has discovered this fourth base, and this is something that I touched on when it was taken. I'm surprised it was opted for very quickly, because this Void Ray can't really be stopped from at least severely damaging this hatch. The Spore's on its way over. The Queen has no creep spread. There isn't actually any creep spread going on this game so far, which is potentially something that could be sorted out. Meanwhile, the Spore Caller that is being produced, taking a bit of a beating from this Void Ray. The Oracle will just die, but the Spore also falls down. The two Queens coming over, that should fend off this Void Ray, and with a heck of a lot of 4 more Spore Crawlers coming down, no more damage going to get done. One lone Roach has been discovered, as well as the Overseer coming in just to find some scouting information. All in all, this is going pretty solid. The Robotics Bay has been seen. That's a fantastic scout there, and it's going to be a mass muta play actually coming down, so not the Corruptors. +1 coming out. This is going to be very interesting. Has it been scouted? The Spire, the Spire, the Spire, the Spire, the Spire. Where is the Spire? Much Spire, very wow. Where are you? Okay, Spire. Has it been seen by Lambo? No. But yet he's still adding in 2 additional gates. 2 additional Stargates. He must sense that something weird's happening here, because there's very little in the way of roaches or hydralisks. And that means, where's the gas going? I know you've taken these gases fast. I know you've been up on them. So it must be mutas. That's the thought process. Phoenix production now beginning. These mutas are ready to hit now, though. The third Nexus is in a lot of difficulties. It's going to be so hard to try and stop this. In come the mutas now. They're going for the Mothership Core. Don't want it to come over and be able to photon overcharge. That's actually a really cool decision. In come the Mutalisks now. They're going to be trying to get a bit more damage through. Focusing down that cannon, making sure that it can't do much else. The Mothership Core does get over despite only having 2 HP. The Mutalisks didn't do their job, didn't manage to kill it, so the Photon Overcharge will be able to prevent any more damage coming through there. The Muta's heading up towards the natural, but remember, that's overcharged as well. Going to really be causing some problems. The Muta count up at 15. 3 Phoenix are down, but remember, 3 more at a time can be produced thanks to these double, or now triple Stargates. 5th base from Lambo, on its way out. And Lambo, he killed like 11 workers there, but despite that, his opponent is still sitting at 64 probes. 64 probes is actually a really good count at this stage of the game, especially when he's got that triple Phoenix production. And as I mentioned in the last game, what we've got down from Patience is a nice situation. He's going to be contending... what I've been what I meant to say there was actually the Corruptor's coming down. So Muta Corruptor is going to be coming out. It's something I mentioned in the last game. But what's really important about this is it's a control-based matchup. Lambo can't allow his Mutalisks to get in range of the Phoenix, because the Phoenix can kite them. The Corruptors have to zone out those Phoenix for as long as possible. And I'll be now moving across the map. And this is basically Patience saying, well, do you have anything on the ground? And actually, not much. 54 Lings are now sitting here. There's a fair few force fields. There's obviously the 2 Colossi. The Corruptors are now going to have to decide, do we deal with the Phoenix or do we deal with the Colossus? The Muta count is very high though. There's 22 Mutalisks. That's a good number. And while this is going on, some Lings are counter-attacking, taking out reinforcements as they come through. But this is triggering Patience to push on in now. Going towards this 5th base. It is not going to last very long. There's a lot of firepower up against this. The Corruptors even getting focused by these Phoenix, which do have +1, matching the upgrades. And there. This is some nice damage coming through. A base now killed. The Phoenix count is actually insane as well. There's 17 Phoenix. Lifting pretty much everything. YOLOing it over that Spore Crawler. Just like, nope, don't care. Spore Crawler, killing all the drones. Everything's good. Picking off a ton of Overlords as well. Temporarily supply blocking his opponent. But Speedlings, they're ready to counterattack now. Some streaming into the main base. They're going to try and pick apart a couple more probes. Workers kill tab is relatively similar. But Lambo gearing up for a big amount of aggression. He's got a huge number of Corruptors, sitting up at 19 of them on the field at the moment. Meanwhile, these Phoenix are looking at the Lings, but not picking them up, so the Lings are continuing to be successful. Picking off now a huge number of workers. This is making a big difference, actually, the amount of workers killed there. The Phoenix moving forward, they don't really want to try and engage up against the Corruptor count, which is sitting now at 25 of them. This kind of air Zerg composition is very, very strong. In come those Corruptors yet again. A couple of Void Rays just adding a nice little bit of damage against that, but is it going to be enough? The Mutalisks stream on forward, snipe off those Voids. Pretty much one volley takes out a Void Ray right there. That is insane damage output from what is the 20 Mutalisks here. More Corruptors coming through. Patience being very cautious, staying back, staying careful. Doesn't want to engage if it would be a bad position. So this 3rd base, this is so essential for Patience, and he's really in a rough spot. In come the Corruptors. The Stalker's trying to pick off everything they can, but the Muta count is still very, very high. It's starting to fall now, but all the important units, all those Phoenix, all the Void Rays, all the Colossi, they're dead. The Remax is gonna really start hurting. Lambo doesn't have that much Vespian, but he's got a lot of minerals, so he's chucking down a huge number of Speedlings, 30 of them on the field. Gonna be trying to get the surround down on these Bling Stalkers and just try and pick them off. Patience counter-attacking now, going in towards that hatchery. He's still got 62 probes behind this, despite having lost 33 of them. So his economy is pretty damn good still. And there just isn't the gas at the moment in order to get out more Mutas. There's only 16 of them. The Blink Stalker's moving back. Guardian Shield activated. That's going to really reduce the damage of these Mutalisks. The Corruptors trying to use Corruption on these Stalkers just to squish them up a little bit more. 15 Mutas on the field, 9 more now in production. But these Blink Stalkers still working, trying to get a bit more damage. The Corruptors trying to act as a bit of a distraction, but Blink underneath the Mutas. Now these Stalkers do have the +2 attack upgrade, so they're trading very nicely here. Again, there are 15 Mutas, but so many have gone down. 29 of them in total. That is an incredible amount of minerals and gas basically gone straight away there. Waiting to see whether or not Patience decides to move in and continue pushing. Looks like for the moment, no. His overall workers killed tab is coming up a bit more, and Lambo is struggling in the overall income, or overall drone count. Only 58 remaining. But it's the hatches and the gas that are important. Patience now pushing through. Just transitioning into pure Blink Stalkers, knowing that his opponent is going to struggle to produce enough to stop that. The Mutalisk flock up at 20 again, but dropping once more. The Corruptors, all 23 of them, useless. Now there's not really too much else coming through. The Phoenix acting as a bit of a distraction flyby, but the Muta count down to only 5. The Stalker count still looking good. No sign of a counterattack. Yeah, there's Lings coming in, but just such good control of these Blink Stalkers is really shutting it out. The Corruptor's now taking some damage as well. The final few Mutalisks trickling in, dying. 8 more are back out on the field after a resupply, but Lambo struggling to produce enough to stop this. The Corruptor count getting whittled away. This hatchery could even get taken out, but focusing on the Corruptors at the moment. GG, well played, Gratz, and Patience is able to fight very, very hard in that game to take the win, and therefore will go 2-0 in this finals, and that means that he advances into first place with that 2-0 victory.